Okay, so to start changing your tire, you need an inner tube, tire levers, or something to get the tire off once you have it on once you have it off the bike. At least 3 zip ties to tie up the electrical cables you're going to cut loose. You're going to need an adjustable wrench for the axle of the bike. You're going to need snips or scissors to cut the zip ties off. A pair of pliers. This is a really nice pair, but you can use just a regular adjustable pair as well. You're going to need a screwdriver or an Allen key. It's going to depend on this bolt right here, which is the brake bolt on the left side of the bike. We'll go over that later. And then to make it a lot easier, you can have a 10mm and an 8mm socket with a ratchet. That'll make it a lot easier. We'll get started here. First step, when you're changing the back tire on your Alkaline or Polarity HyBike, we went over the tools. You're going to have to grab your snips or scissors, come along the side to the right hand side of the bike. You're going to find the rear axle nut. There's a wire coming out of it. Follow this wire up and you'll see the quick connect on the frame. You want to snip the zip tie without cutting the wire. You want to be really careful not to cut the wire there. And this here, you just push on it and it'll unplug. It's pretty easy. Don't force it. Don't pull on the cable. Pull on the hard part here. That's going to free up the wire so that you can take off your axle nut. You take your adjustable pliers. You adjust it to the right size. You're going to have to do this axle nut. Take it all the way off. Once it comes loose, you can finish it with your hand here. It's going to slide all the way off of the quick connect. See, we build our quick connects right so that that'll actually happen. You can go ahead and take these off. You want to lay them in the order that you take them off so that you remember how to put them on. And same thing on this side. I already loosened this side up. Now once you get the axle nuts off, the next step is going to be to get your scissors or snips again, and you're going to want to free up the cable that's on the left hand side of the bike. The cable that comes out of your rear light here comes down the frame. Some of them take different routes, but you're going to find that there's going to be zip ties that hold it on. You just want to cut these zip ties. Again, be certain you're not going to cut the wire. Just cut the zip tie. And you want to cut it all the way off the back rack. We'll put these zip ties back on at the end. But you see you've got your wire loose now, so there's plenty of slack. It's not going to get caught up in anything. Now if you stand behind your bike with the wire loose and both axle nuts are completely off, next step you're going to do is to lift the back rack up and off the bike. On the right hand side of the bike, the side that's got the motor cable coming out, you got to be really careful not to pull the rack off and then immediately cut this cable. You know, some of our motors have the spring here that'll help protect it, but you don't want to pinch it. So what we're going to do is show you how to get it off there without pinching. The axle's got a relief cut in it. You can see the wire is able to pull forward out of the axle. So when you get your rack up, you're going to pull it forward and then kind of pull the rack back and let it sit on the outside of the axle without ever putting stress on your wire. You want to come around to the other side, pull the axle off, or pull the rack off the axle rather. And once you get it off, you can come behind the bike. You can kind of see it's off the axle on both sides. So all I'm going to do is lift up and out. So I'm going to pull up and out this way. And it's just going to rotate up, and you can kind of just pull it in and it'll rest on the frame like that, or you can hold it up with something if you want. But that gives you full access to your chain tensioner. There's one on both sides if your bike is equipped with them. Not all of them have it. But the chain tensioners, you don't fool with this one. This is a reference point. That's the one on the left side of the bike. The one on the right side of the bike, you're going to loosen. You can use your adjustable wrench, but it's a lot easier to use a 10mm deep socket. Get that on there. you're going to loosen it up. You can see the more you loosen this, the looser your chain gets. You get it good and loose like that, and then we can undo the chain. And then to undo your chain, you're going to find the link that doesn't look like the other ones. You're going to find, here it is. This link is your master link, okay? You can see it good there. Now you're going to take your master link, has almost a very long C shape to it. This is your opening end of the master link. You're going to push this outer link back or forward, whichever way it is, in order to get that open end to clip over this post. And there's a million YouTube videos on how to do this, but I'll still cover it anyway. Just like that easy. It's a lot easier when you have two hands. You take the front little long C clip off, set it to the side, know where you're putting it. And you're going to take the link cap off, and then this link can just push right out. See, it just goes right off the chain like that. Now, one trick when you're on the Polarity or the Alkaline model is obviously your front gear is covered by body panels, so you want to try to not move your chain off the front gear. Just roll the back tire until the chain comes off. Then again, you're not fooling around with the chain. Once it's like this, you just let it sit there. Now from here, the next step is going to be getting your brakes off. That's done with this, again on the left hand side of the bike now. It's a bolt that's right here holding your brake assembly to the frame. Now that's, sometimes it's a screwdriver, a regular screwdriver screw, sometimes it needs a socket or an Allen key. But you just loosen this up, and then you've got your brake adjustment nut, which you can see the video on how to adjust your brakes on the website. You just take this all the way off. You're going to just take the adjustment all the way back off until the whole nut and spring and everything are able to come off. Once you have the brake all the way apart, make sure you're laying out these in a way that makes sense to you. You know, this is my bolt that came off the front end. I set it down with the nut on the back, all these pieces. Just that way you're not going to get lost and confused about where everything went. Now, the last thing you need to take off to get the tire off the bike is going to be your fender supports. There's one here, it holds the fender up. You can follow down the other side and see this. Once you get those off, you can take this fender support, pull it out of the frame, and just rotate it up and out of your way. You can kind of use the license plate, get it behind there, and that's good. Then if you pull your fender to the side, with the fender out of the way, you're going to be able to just pull your tire straight off of the bike. Now your tire is totally separate from your bike.